The grand hall of the Jedi Temple hummed with a quiet energy, not the solemn quiet of meditation, but the vibrant hush of anticipation. Sunlight filtered through the high, ancient windows, painted shifting patterns on the polished floors, illuminating the faces of hundreds, young Padawans, newly knighted Jedi, and venerated masters. This was an era of unprecedented peace and expansion, a golden age where the Republic stretched wide, and the Jedi, its guardians, felt the Force flow strong and unburdened. At the heart of it all stood Master Yoda, his small frame radiating a presence that belied his stature. He was not merely an ancient relic of wisdom, but a dynamic, engaged leader, his eyes twinkling with a hopeful light. Today was a day of dedication, a ceremony to welcome a new generation into the wider galaxy, a symbolic sending forth of Jedi who would carry the Republic's ideals to distant stars. Yoda moved slowly, deliberately through the ranks. He paused before a young Mirialan, her face alight with eager optimism. "Great purpose you seek," he murmured, his voice a gravelly whisper, yet clear enough for her to hear. "Find it, you will, in serving others, not self." She nodded, a profound understanding dawning in her eyes. He then moved to a confident human knight, recently elevated. "Courage you have," Yoda acknowledged, "but patience, greater it must be, for patience is the true shield." Each interaction was brief, personal, yet carried the weight of centuries of insight. These were the young heroes of the era, the ones who would shape the future, and Yoda saw the boundless potential within each one. He offered not strict commands, but gentle guidance, nurturing the seeds of greatness. The air shifted subtly as his gaze settled upon a figure standing slightly apart from the main group. Clad in simple, unadorned robes, this individual possessed an unassuming demeanor, yet something about their posture, their deep, watchful eyes, spoke of an inner strength that was carefully veiled. This was a young prince discreetly attending the ceremony, a future ruler of a powerful, neutral system. He was here not for pomp, but to observe, to learn. Yoda approached him, his gimmer stick tapping softly on the floor. The prince's eyes, though wary, met Yoda's with an unexpected depth. There was no need for introductions, no exchange of pleasantries. Yoda simply stood, his head tilted slightly, sensing the currents of the Force swirling around the young man. It was a potent, untamed energy, tempered by a quiet intelligence. "Greatness you carry," Yoda spoke, his voice soft, almost a murmur, meant only for the prince's ears. "A heavy burden it can be. True power not in might lies, but in wisdom, and compassion, the greatest strength of all it is." The prince's expression remained neutral, but a subtle shift in his aura, a momentary crack in his carefully constructed disguise, revealed a flicker of surprise, then thoughtful consideration. He did not speak, but offered a slight, almost imperceptible nod of acknowledgement. It was a moment of profound, unspoken connection, an exchange that transcended words, a recognition of potential far beyond the immediate horizon. Yoda saw not just a prince, but a future leader who could guide his people through prosperity or peril, depending on the choices he would make. He had offered a seed of wisdom, trusting it to take root. As the ceremony drew to its conclusion, a palpable sense of unity filled the hall. The Jedi, young and old, formed a vast circle, their faces alight with conviction and hope. Yoda positioned himself at the very center, his presence grounding them all. He closed his eyes for a moment, drawing upon the vast wellspring of the Force, feeling the collective spirit of the Jedi, the peaceful expanse of the Republic they served. There was no whisper of shadow, no premonition of the wars to come, only light and life. Then, with a sudden, decisive motion, he ignited his lightsaber. a brilliant emerald blade sprang forth, humming with pure energy, a beacon in the vastness of the hall. One by one, in a ripple of shimmering light, hundreds of other lightsabers ignited, filling the space with a dazzling kaleidoscope of blues, greens, and purples. The air crackled with power, not aggressive, but resonant with purpose and protection. Yoda's voice, amplified by the Force, rose above the harmonious hum of the blades, clear and resonant, echoing through the sacred space. His eyes, now wide open, seemed to encompass all the hope of the galaxy. There was no whisper of shadow, no premonition of the wars to come, only light and life. Then, with a sudden, decisive motion, he ignited his lightsaber. A brilliant emerald blade sprang forth, humming with pure energy, a beacon in the vastness of the hall. One by one, in a ripple of shimmering light, hundreds of other lightsabers ignited, filling the space with a dazzling kaleidoscope of blues, greens, and purples. The air crackled with power, not aggressive, but resonant with purpose and protection. Yoda's voice, amplified by the Force, rose above the harmonious hum of the blades, clear and resonant, echoing through the sacred space. His eyes, now wide open, seemed to encompass all the hope of the galaxy. "For light," he declared, his voice ringing with ancient authority and boundless optimism. A unified roar of agreement met his pronouncement, a chorus of voices joining his, a powerful affirmation of their shared creed, their shared destiny. It was a declaration, a vow, a testament to an era when the Jedi were at the forefront of a bright, expansive galaxy. This was Yoda, not the burdened, somber master of the Clone Wars, nor the reclusive hermit of Dagobah, but a leader brimming with optimism, deeply connected to the living Force, confident in the future. This powerful moment captures a Yoda we seldom see in the more familiar narratives, a beacon of hope, a patriarch of peace, at the helm of a truly golden age before the galaxy was tragically plunged into the darkness of war. It reminds us of a time when the ideals of the Jedi shone brightest, when their purpose was clear, and when the declaration "for light and life" resonated not as a desperate plea, but a joyful, confident assertion of their enduring mission. Take a moment to imagine that scene: the light, the unity, the unshakable optimism. What do you think this golden age felt like for the Jedi? How might such a period have shaped Yoda's initial perception of the Force and his own role within it? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this glimpse into a different side of a familiar legend, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more explorations into the fascinating tapestry of the Star Wars galaxy. Until next time, may the Force be with you.